All right, so I'm sure you've heard by now because I'm like 2 days late to this that One Punch Man is getting its very own live action movie, and it's going to be like full blown American Hollywood, like, big budget, big studio movie. And the big studio is Sony. So I'll get more into the finer details of everything, but let me just point out that already I could see that the consensus within the community, not just One Punch Man, but anime in general, is against this. And I myself am against this too. I'm not going to like boycott it or anything, but it's just like, those of us who are not normies, I'll say, know that live action anime adaptations, especially like the Western ones, are usually not good because it's like comes across tone deaf almost every time. And I'll get more into why this movie will probably be no different, but it will also probably be a success at the same time, because that's just how things work like this, and I'll go more into that. So, like I said, it's being developed by Sony, and Sony is known for making, like, the not good superhero movies, pretty much. And, like, other, like, popcorn flicks that appeal to the masses, but, like, people who aren't normies, like I've been saying, see these movies as being lackluster. So aside from Sony, we know the writers on this movie as well. So it's going to be Scott Rosenberg and Jeff Pinkner. Now, these guys have movies in common such as Venom and Jumanji, the recent ones. So Venom... very poor critical reception. I mean, it has a freaking 29% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I think is a little harsh. Now, I personally enjoyed Venom. I thought it was fun. I thought it was entertaining. Far from a Marvel movie. No doubt about that. But, I mean, I thought the direction they went in with it was fine. Jumanji, I only saw the first one. I don't even know why I saw it, honestly. But it was better than I expected. Now, the thing about these two movies is that while they weren't had the best critical reception, I mean, Jumanji did pretty well in that regard, but Venom not so much. They both made good profit on their original investments on these movies. So I assume, like I've been saying, that's probably going to happen with One Punch Man, the movie, because that's what these guys do. Like, while they kind of make lackluster content for, people like us watching this, or I would say most people that are like against live action adaptations and like movies like Jumanji, like typically stuff that we wouldn't go out to see because, we're like cool, edgy people. But that's what they're going to do. They're going to water the One Punch Man story down. Okay. They're going to make it tone deaf and they're going to make it palatable for the masses. That's what these guys do. So most likely this movie will get poor critical reception, but they'll make it entertaining enough and surface level enough and mass, and it'll have enough mass appeal to get a nice big old profit off of this movie, which is ultimately their end goal here. So let's go a little deeper also, because we know the production company behind this movie as well, and it's going to be Arad Productions. Now, Arad, I guess, it's like in the in crowd with the two writers here because they have similar credits here. So Arad Productions has been behind, surprisingly, the Avengers and the first Captain America movie. So that's fine. That's good. But also, they made they were behind the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and the Bratz movie, and then something called Cody the Robo Sapien. So these guys all kind of fit into the same wheelhouse. They just take existing IPs and they make them palatable for the masses, for profit. That's pretty much what we have going on here. So yeah, don't expect to enjoy this One Punch Man movie for more than it just being an entertaining, 90 minutes of your life. It's not going to get critical reception. I highly doubt it. And it's just too bad because, they should have just taken another existing IP. And I know that, Shueisha is probably the one that ultimately made this decision. And I'll go into the creator of One Punch Man and his thoughts and all of this stuff. But they should have just taken a more streamlined series, because One Punch Man it's like clever. Now, I'm not trying to say it's like you need an IQ of 200 or you need to like be a Rick and Morty viewer to understand One Punch Man. That's not the case. But I'm saying is that it's like, it's funny, it's satirical, you know, it has, dare I say, complex jokes to it. You know, that the typical people that like watch Jumanji probably aren't going to understand all that well. Goes back. I'm not saying you need to be smart. I'm saying some of the jokes. And the writing. I mean, we all love the One Punch Man writing because of one. I mean, obviously, he's also made Mob Psycho, two of the best battle manga series of all time already. And to have, like, such a good writer, like, one's work here, be put in the hands of these, I don't know, normifiers, we'll say, it kind of stinks. Because I think it would be better to have, like, an IP like One Punch Man in the hands of somebody who can actually handle it with care, like Taika Waititi. He would be perfect for this adaptation. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen, because, you know, Taika Waititi is obviously expensive real estate at this point, and Sony probably isn't able to get a hold of him because he's just, dare I say, too good for them. But I don't know. That's just the kind of point that I was just trying to get across, that, like, you know, don't expect anything from this, really. This is mainly just like a profit movie. I don't really think there's going to be any passion put into this. But let's go back to passion, because we're going to see what One has to say about this, the creator of the series. So, like 2 days ago, I think, or one day, he made a tweet saying that, you know, One Punch Man, the live-action movie has been decided. Thank you, everyone. He can't say thank you enough. He's really looking forward to what the Saitama story will be made like in Hollywood. So that's fine. I mean, this is One's baby after all. I mean, why wouldn't you be excited that Hollywood wanted to pick up your IP, your story, and then make profit out of it? That's cool. So One is down for it, but I just wish One was, I don't know, more like, hey, you know what? Maybe I don't want to have this series go to Sony and the people that work with Sony. Maybe let's, you know, shop around a little bit. Maybe give it to a more indie director. Not like, you know, like a 6-figure budget indie director, but, you know, like a 7-figure budget director. And then give it to him and give it to somebody who's like seasoned with, I don't know, satirical humor, stuff like that. Sardonic stuff, not necessarily like Jack Black and Kevin Hart and The Rock being goofy, you know. It's more than that. There is goofy moments in One Punch Man, of course. We all love it, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just expecting too much, honestly. Because, I mean, every battle manga, battle anime adaptation that we've seen so far, almost every single one, maybe there's an outlier out there that I'm not aware of off the top of my head, but they've all been lackluster. They've all kind of been tone deaf, and they've all made the existing fan base just despise it. And I'm looking at you, Death Note on Netflix. I'm looking at you, Dragon Ball Evolution, and I know that was like over 10 years ago, but still, its echo of depravity, it still exists in the air today. And that's why we're all like worried about this. Now, let's look at the positives here. One Punch Man, the series that we all love, the community that we're a part of here, or I assume most of you viewing this video are, it's going to get more attention. Okay? I mean, that's great, right? We're going to get more fans coming to the series. Therefore, it will have, more numbers, more readers. Therefore, One and Murata and Shueisha will acknowledge that. And then One Punch Man will continue to get, more pushes. So if this One Punch Man live action movie is successful, which I think it will be, at least from a monetary standpoint, then that will encourage them to make more One Punch Man stuff. Maybe more games, maybe some animated movies, maybe a push for a quicker return to season 3, possibly. I don't know. But this is both a good and a bad thing, I'll say. But let me know what you think about the One Punch Man movie in the comments. And if you like this video, give it a like. I also have a Patreon, gives you access to a weekly Q&A. And if you haven't already, please subscribe as well. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.